Hello, my name is Jen, and welcome to the video portion of my Humble Monthly Reviews. The rules are simple. I will play each game in the Humble Monthly bundle and write a short review for each one. Each review will be made up of 5 categories. Description. Using my own words, I will describe the story and the gameplay. Opinion. I will offer my own feelings on what works and what needs to be improved. The 1 hour rule. I will play each game for a minimum of 1 hour. Afterwards, I will decide if I wish to continue playing. Who would like this game? My personal opinion on who would or would not find this game enjoyable. Nitpicks. Small issues that, while not deal breakers, are annoying and I wanted to bring up. Additionally, there will be a 6th category for Humble Original Games. After taking everything else into consideration, I will decide if I would purchase the full version if or when it is released. With the rules established, let us continue on to the Humble Monthly Review. The Witness by Thekla Inc. Description. The Witness is a first-person puzzle game. You are a nameless individual who wakes up on an island filled with puzzles that must be solved in order to enter the mysterious mountain that lays in the center. The Witness was created by John Blow, best known for his breakout title, Braid. This game was developed using a custom engine and contains over 500 puzzles. Opinion. The first thing I feel I should clarify is that The Witness isn't a very good walking simulator. Walking sims are games that center on interacting with the environment with minimalist gameplay to progress a non-linear plot. While The Witness certainly has the minimalist gameplay down, the plot part is a bit murky, instead opting for conveying concepts and ideas to the player. Whether this game is a walking sim or not is up for debate, but if you're looking for a game like Gone Home or The Stanley Parable, then you will be disappointed with The Witness. Above issues aside, The Witness does a great job creating a vivid landscape, but I feel the puzzles can be a bit repetitive. Every puzzle is based on the same line-drawing grid design. The game tries to keep things fresh with a wide variety of grid puzzles, but the idea of having to deal with over 500 ways to draw a line wasn't my idea of fun. Still, the game managed to keep me engaged with its atmosphere and sense of exploration, so I didn't feel too bored. The 1 hour rule. I did manage to play The Witness for over 3 hours, so it does pass the 1 hour rule. If I intend to keep playing is another matter. Maybe this will be something I play in my downtime. Who would like this game? As mentioned above, walking sim fans will find this game underwhelming, but if you enjoy puzzle games and beautiful environments, you'll feel right at home. Nitpicks. Symmetry Island is just unfair, since the only solution is to memorize the puzzles in advance. Also, it's not even an island, it's a peninsula. Layers of Fear by Blooper Team. Description. Layers of Fear is a psychological first-person horror game. You play the artist, an unnamed painter who must explore his ever-changing Victorian home to uncover his past and finish his magnum opus. Layers of Fear features exploration-based gameplay and was influenced by PT. Opinion. Layers of Fear starts off fairly promisingly. The first area is a dark Victorian manor full of story and atmosphere. Every drawer and cabinet can be opened, and many are filled with bits of story. It's only when I unlocked the studio that things started to fall apart. Layers of Fear relies heavily on jump scares. You have no real control when something scary happens. You walk into a room, find the thing that goes boo, and then you leave. This game quickly turns into a setup for a series of Pop Goes the Weasel and ends up taking away from the overall experience. I personally stopped paying attention to the story and atmosphere because I was afraid if I focused on something for too long, it'd jump out at me. This is a shame. When things aren't going bump in the night, the game creates a wonderful slow-burning dread. I feel like if you could remove the jump scares, you'd have a game with great story and atmosphere. As it stands, all Layers of Fear feels like is just another jump scare simulator. The 1 hour rule. I'm not proud to admit this, but the stress of waiting for the spooky beat to drop was too much, so I quit and started a new game. I finished up my playthrough exploring the starting environment, going through every drawer looking for more scraps of paper to read. Since there isn't a way to remove the jumpy bits, Layers of Fear fails the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? Layers of Fear has good story and atmosphere, but I can't recommend it for horror fans because of its reliance on jump scares. Unless you're a big fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, give it a pass. Nitpicks. Why books? Why did I get attacked by a pile of books? The artist was a painter, not a writer. Black Mesa by Crowbar Collective. Description. Black Mesa is the remake of the classic FPS Half-Life. You take the role of Gordon Freeman, a mute scientist who accidentally opens a portal to another dimension and must fight monsters, alien troopers, and the US military to stop an alien invasion. Black Mesa was originally developed as a source mod, but later transitioned to a full release. Opinion. Black Mesa does a faithful job of recreating the original by focusing on updating the graphics and voiceovers, while only offering minor tweaks to the gameplay to keep the experience relatively the same. Black Mesa's core gameplay is that of a traditional run-and-gun first-person shooter. You fight a large variety of enemies, each with their own strategy. Some are monsters that just run at you with abandon, while military forces will work together. Aliens and military guys fight each other too. This creates a dynamic gameplay experience as you're not sure if the soldiers you're fighting are leading you to an ambush or are about to be ambushed themselves. The graphics are definitely an improvement, but unfortunately the source engine has begun to show its age, so it still comes off looking dated. The storytelling in this game is still fantastic, allowing you to choose your own level of immersion by focusing on the base story of an alien invasion, or by looking deeper to discover a major government conspiracy. Black Mesa is still very much an early access title. I've run into several graphical and gameplay glitches, and as of this review, the last level hasn't been completed. While this hasn't deeply affected the overall experience, this game still has a long way to go. The 1 hour rule. I was originally planning to play for an hour and call it good enough, but I was honestly surprised by how quickly I was drawn in. Without a doubt, Black Mesa passes the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? Fans of the original can rest easy knowing that Black Mesa is just Half-Life with some minor updates to keep it fresh. Fans of FPS games and people looking to experience this classic for the first time would also have a lot of fun. Nitpicks. Despite being made in the source engine, there is no way to get the gravity gun, even with mods. What gives, devs? It's like you didn't want people to have fun with the physics engine. Kingdom New Lands by Raw Fury Games. Description. Kingdom New Lands is a side-scrolling civilization builder. You play a monarch who is tasked with creating a kingdom and protecting their subjects from greedy trolls. Kingdom New Land is an updated version of the Independent Game Festival nominated title Kingdom and features resource management, pixel graphics, and roguelike elements. Opinion. Kingdom New Lands gives very little away. You're given a short tutorial in the beginning, but are quickly left to your own devices with only a single instruction: expand. From there, you move across a flat island to find people and build structures during the day, while preventing trolls from pillaging your town at night. Resources regenerate slowly, so you have to manage where you place your gold. Have too many hunters, and nothing will get built, but if you have too many builders, trolls will steal their tools. You have to balance this out while upgrading your fortress, constructing a boat, and finding other structures to build that give no hint to their purpose. I'm still not sure what shrines do, but I'm sure it's something important because trolls like to destroy them. The pixel graphics lend themselves nicely to the atmosphere by making the land feel unknown but also tranquil, which facilitates a desire of exploration. Unfortunately, the island is far too small, and you can easily walk from one end to the other in a few minutes, which dampens the mystique. I didn't know that Kingdom was a roguelike on my first playthrough, so I was surprised to discover I had to start over when trolls stole my crown. Even then, this game didn't make me feel like I was slogging through a chore, so despite starting over from nothing, I wasn't discouraged. The 1 hour rule. When I had to start over, I had lost about 50 minutes of progress. While I had given up on other games in the past for similar reasons, I wanted to try again. Kingdom New Lands passes the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? If you're looking for a slow but simple kingdom management game, this will hit the spot. If you want something with more action or faster pace, you won't find much enjoyment in this title. Nitpicks. The beginning tutorial feels redundant by having a ghost walk you through where to stand despite on-screen prompts telling you the same information. This can be extra frustrating as there's no way to skip this despite having to play the game multiple times. Event Zero by Ocelot Society. Description. Event Zero is a first-person exploration game. You play an astronaut on a trip to Europa who ends up on the Nautilus, a derelict spaceship from an alternate 1980s, and must discover the secrets hidden within with the help of the ship's AI. Event Zero features an interactive narrative with over 2 million possible responses. Opinion. Event Zero's main gameplay hook is the interaction with the ship's AI, Kaizen 85. Unlike with most games, you have no pre-selected text and must rely exclusively on typing out your replies by hand. Kaizen 85 isn't just a chatbot and has a snarky personality. It hates when you treat it like a machine and will sometimes impede your progress if you annoy it enough. Early in the game, Kaizen 85 got upset that I was treating it like a Linux command prompt and wouldn't open a door until I apologized. Unfortunately, the strings start to show at times when Kaizen 85 responds with comments that make no sense or were repeats of previous lines used in other context. Even with the limitations, I felt a bond forming with this character in a way I've never experienced in a video game before. The art direction is fascinating. The Nautilus has an Art Deco design with heavy inspiration from Alien. The ship does a great job of feeling lived in to create a story without words. The story is good, but sadly not as deep as it could be. I don't want to spoil much, but a lot of the world building is thrown at you quickly without much time to take it all in. I'm still not quite sure what a selenite is, or why I happen to be one. The 1 hour rule. Event Zero is short and can be beaten in about an hour and a half. I did end up playing to the end, but I'd love to play again just to see the other endings. Event Zero passes the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? Walking sim fans or people who want a strong narrative would love this game. If you're looking for something with more solid gameplay outside of typing to a personable chatbot, I may suggest looking elsewhere. Nitpicks. The oxygen meter when you're doing a spacewalk feels unnecessary. It's too slow to add any suspense, but too quick to get anything done in one go. I wish it could be turned off. Tumblestone by the Quantum Astrophysics Guild. Description. Tumblestone is a casual puzzle adventure game. You begin the game taking the role of a chibi Cleopatra and must play a series of puzzles to rid the world of the tumblestones while discovering the fate of the Tumble Crown. Tumblestone was developed by the same people behind The Bridge and contains over 40 hours of gameplay. Opinion. From first impression, you'd be forgiven for thinking Tumblestone is a port of a Facebook game. The gameplay is simple. You have a variety of colored blocks that you have to match up with similar colors. Unlike your typical Match 3 game, you can choose any 3 same colored blocks so long as they're within line of sight. This adds a surprising level of strategy as you have to plan out which blocks to take and when. Midway through my playthrough, I was devising rules and personal strategies to keep myself from getting stuck. Additional rules get thrown in later, but I never quite mastered them all. Tumblestone is invested in keeping you from failing. The game won't let you select a wrong colored block if the right colored one is available, and if you're stuck, the game is quick to point out where to select or to let you know to start over. When you do get stuck, you can reset the level with a single button to try again. Tumblestone is a silly game. Most of the characters are based on mini versions of historical or fictional characters, or are just silly ideas thrown in for fun. One of the characters is a sausage. The tumblestones themselves are the silliest. They all have weird faces that change to goofy sad expressions when you match them up. I'm not entirely sure why they're such a bad thing. All they do is just sit around looking funny. The 1 hour rule. Going in, I was dreading playing Tumblestone. After a few minutes of playing, I was surprised by how quickly I was taken in by this silly game. Tumblestone passes the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? Casual puzzle game fans will definitely get their money's worth. If you're looking to get into this genre, Tumblestone would be a great place to start. Nitpicks. I never figured out what the Tumble Crown is or why the tumblestones are bad. While it's possible those facts will be revealed later, for such a simple setup, they should have let the player know right away. Slimesan by Fabraz. Description. Slimesan is a 2D action platformer. You play the titular hero, Slimesan, as you navigate the innards of a giant worm in order to escape before being digested. Slimesan features classic NES-era graphics, Twitch platforming, and chiptune music composed by over a dozen artists. Opinion. Slimesan is hard, like really hard, bordering on unfair. Acid is the only thing that can kill you, but acid is everywhere. You're given ample instructions and levels designed to test out your new moves in traditional platformer fashion, but there are plenty of things that Slimesan would rather you figure out on your own. Like the fact that you stay intangible for about half a second after you let go of the button, so if you don't time your jumps perfectly, you'll pass right through a surface and splat right into a pool of acid. Despite these annoyances, I never felt like I was being punished or mocked. When you die, and you will die, the game starts you right at the beginning of the stage without a moment's hesitation to allow you to try again. Slime Sand does its best to look and feel retro. The story setup is simple, and the graphics could have been ripped straight from an early NES title. At times, I feel like Slime Sand tries too hard to capture that aesthetic and comes off as too hipstery. NPCs are all based off of tropes of video games or video game culture, which ends up feeling like everyone in the hub town is a reject from Undertale. The 1 hour rule. I tried to give Slime Sand a fair try, but I got too frustrated with the difficulty curve. While I'm sure other people would love this game, for me, it fails the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? While Slime Sand is not to my taste, it deserves to be played by fans of hardcore platformers. If you're looking for something more safe, give Slime Sand a pass. Nitpicks. I have no idea how to quit this game once it starts. Am I missing something, or did the developers forget to add an exit button? Johns by Cypher Prime Studio. Description. Johns is a puzzle-based board game. You control a series of numbered tiles and must compete against a computer or other human players to capture their main piece. Johns was developed by the same team behind Fractal. Opinion. Johns is a great example of a game that's easy to pick up but hard to master. The gameplay is simple. You have tiles numbered with little dots that can be used to take enemy tiles with the same or lesser number of dots. The only exception being blank tiles, which can only take each other. This game does require a fair amount of strategy, as the computer quickly ramps up the difficulty to keep you on your toes. There are 5 game modes, such as traditional and competitive, which are effectively the same. Treasure Hunt hides both sides' main pieces, and Judo and Numbers, which I couldn't discern the rules given their short description. The graphics are simple but elegant. Johns could have been designed in Flash 10 years ago and still look just as good. I feel like the biggest disappointment is that this game was only released for computer when it could have had a bigger fan base on mobile or even as a board game. The 1 hour rule. Johns is cute and fun. I could see myself playing this on long trips, especially if it ever gets a mobile release. Johns passes the 1 hour rule. Who would like this game? If you're looking for a fun digital board game to play alone or with friends, you'll definitely want to give Johns a try. Would I purchase the full release? Would I buy the full release? Sure, but only if it came out on mobile. Nitpicks. The music is really catchy, but it can't be easily ripped from the game files. As I write this review, I have the game on in the background so I can listen to the music as I type. This month's bundle was exemplary, with a great list of titles. I was most surprised to see Black Mesa, as I haven't heard much from that game since its initial release, but I'm glad to see it's doing well. Event Zero is by far my favorite title this month, and is a great example of what walking simulators can be. Johns, Kingdom, Slime Sand, and Tumblestone make great add-ons and help add a lot of variety. I've heard a lot of talk about Layers of Fear and The Witness, so I was glad to give those a try. Unfortunately, they just didn't feel like that much fun to me. Thank you all for watching my videos to the very end. These reviews have been a lot of fun, and I intend to continue for the foreseeable future, so keep an eye out for next month. Please let me know what you think about this current setup and if you have any suggestions here. Maybe if you want me to try out different music. Just again, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you all again for listening.